shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My life has seen the glory of it coming under left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My life has seen the glory of it coming under left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money, money, money.
There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money. You know why money so much? Why you want to get us a little more? Yeah, trying to do things about money. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies for working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and pleasure for me to be able to present to you each and every morning, and I thank you for tuning in to the show. I see some of my regulars. Good morning, Amosi. Morning, Kizzy. Good morning, Lakeisha. I appreciate you guys so much. So if you're checking us out on Facebook, then do me a huge favor and go ahead and share the stream on your timelines. Let's get some other people may have some questions about business and things of that nature, so they can jump in on this free game Friday as we recap this week's shows, as well as answer any questions that you guys may have. I certainly appreciate when you guys do that. And also, the way we can help the show go viral is if I say something you like, then give me hearts, thumbs up, or whatever those little emoji things are, because obviously, apparently, Facebook tracks those things, and that's how they can determine who's got a popular show or not. So I appreciate that, but only do it if I'm saying something that you can relate to. I don't want just hearts and stuff for no reason. But if I'm saying something that's clicking with you, then heart it up for me. And then also, if you're checking us out on YouTube, do me the same favor. Grab the link, share it on your favorite social media platform, wherever that may be. Right, and just go ahead and whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, wherever you share your stuff at, man, go ahead and share that in those platforms for me, because we want to get as many people involved in these conversations as possible, because it is my goal to lift the collective financial IQ of our community, lift the collective spirit of our community, give people the belief in themselves that they need in order to conquer the world. As always, in case you stumbled up on this show on accident, let me let you know exactly who this show is for, because it might not be for you, right? This show is for my risers and grinders this morning. If you're up on this Friday morning, and as soon as your feet hit the floor, you're about to get up, get out, and get something, this show, my friend, is for you. If you are the type of person that went to sleep last night with legacy on your brain, you're thinking about what you're going to do the next day, the day after that, the day after that, to make sure that your great-great-grandchildren are proud to bear your name, this show, my friend, is for you. If you are just a go-getter at heart, if you're like me, a serial entrepreneur, you've been grinding all your life, and you're just going to keep grinding until you get your major breakthrough, this show is for you, because I want to help you breakthrough. If you are the type of person who has the desire to build wealth, you have the discipline to build wealth, but maybe you lack a game plan, maybe you lack some strategies, maybe you need some tips, maybe you like a mentor in your life, then guess what? This show, my friend, is for you. Now, on the other hand, who is this show not for? Right? If you are that person who's got that weird relationship with money, where you think capitalism is a dirty word, you think money is evil, well, guess what? This show, my friend, is not for you. If you don't like the fact that I said the word money 12 times in the last 10 seconds, then this show ain't for you. I can promise you. I'm going to say money, wealth, legacy, something that relates about 300 more times in the next 20, 30, 40 minutes or so. I can promise you that, right? That's one thing I can't promise. That's what we talk about, building wealth. See, I understand that if you think money and wealth is evil, you think, well, wealthy people are snobs and all that kind of stuff, then guess what? Subconsciously, what you're doing is repelling money away from you. If that is buried in your spirit, then, and you have that thought process when it relates to money, wealth, finances, then you will never attract money to you. Why? Because your subconscious is there to protect you. So if you think something is evil, then your subconscious will never attract that which you think is evil to you. So that's why you're going to stay in a perpetual state of, I wouldn't say poverty or brokenness. You just won't ascend to a life of abundance, right? Because you believe that there's something wrong with that. So if that is you, this show is not for you. Now, let me be clear. I do not have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy, because that's your prerogative. I only have a problem with you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy, right? So what the heck is that about? You don't want to be wealthy, but you don't want me talking about money, or you don't want me aspiring to be wealthy either. Where they do that at, as the kids say, right? So if that's you, this show, my friend, is not for you. Because as I tell you every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire, and I want you to know that I'm dead serious. If you've never seen a future billionaire, take a screenshot, frame it, save it, then hold me accountable and watch me work over the next 5 to 10 years and see exactly what happened. So I can lay the foundation so you can see that, man, this dude went from nothing to $1 billion in 7, 8, 9 years. Because I want everybody to know that building wealth is incredibly simple. Now, let's not confuse simple with ease, right? It's simple to build wealth, not necessarily easy, because you got to overcome some mind shifts. You got to overcome some mind challenges in order to get you there, right? So that's who the show is for. That's who the show is not for. Today's show is sponsored by, can y'all see my shirt? The Young Biz Kids, right? Young Biz Kids. I am sitting on the board for a nonprofit organization called the Young Biz Kids, where we teach entrepreneurship to our babies. We teach financial literacy to our babies. We teach branding and marketing to our babies. And it's amazing to watch those little jokers transform, because we're helping them take something that they like and they're passionate about. We teach them how to turn that into a business, and man, their confidence goes through the roof. And what I know about children is this: if you get them confident about anything, they can be confident about everything. So they may be struggling in school, but get them confident about their business. Get them to a place where they're able to talk about their business with passion. And guess what? That confidence will transfer into the classroom. So Young Biz Kids, if you want to know more about Young Biz Kids, if you're in the St. Louis area, first and foremost, go to youngbizkids.org, and that's kids with a Z. BIYOUNG BIZKIDZ.org. So we're bringing this to the babies, man, because sometimes dealing with adults have so much baggage that you can't get through to them. So I didn't scrap that and just say, forget the adults. I'm going to go right to the next generation, and we're going to raise them up. And then when they have children, that entrepreneur spirit is just going to be in those children. So now we create an army of entrepreneurs, because that's what we got to get to. We've got to be able to produce. But we're not producing because we're not raising entrepreneurs. We're not raising entrepreneurs because we're sending our children through a school system that is anti-entrepreneurship. All right, that may be too heavy for the start of the show, right? That may be. I see some of you. I can see some of your virtual faces right now. I said, "Damn, he going in. The show just started." Okay, that might be too heavy for the start of the show, right? Lakeisha said, I need to know more about this. Yes, because while we are piloted here in St. Louis, a lot of our initiatives will be virtual as well. So you can actually plug your kids in wherever they are. We'll sit them down. They'll sit down in front of a computer with you, hopefully, because we want the parents and the children to be involved. And then we will, you would go through virtual workshops and classes with your children right there, and we're teaching them everything that it takes to be an entrepreneur, man, because our kids are gifted, man. They're gifted, and we as parents are stunting their gifts because we're focusing on, man, go to school, get those good grades, man. And that ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. That's not it. See, what we tend to believe is that when our kids go to school, we know that they're getting an education, but what we're doing is our problem is we're confusing education with knowledge. I'm gonna say that again. I hope y'all get this. We're confusing education with knowledge. Your kids are going to school to be educated, but they ain't learning shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go so ham so early in the show. We're supposed to be doing recap. We're supposed to be doing Q&A, and I done got fired up about something else. Your kids go to school to get educated, but they're not learning anything. Some of y'all gonna get it. Some of y'all gonna get it. Some of y'all gonna get it. Right? What are they teaching your child in school that will help them in life? Damn what they're teaching them that's going to help them in the next grade and in the next grade and in high school, and I mean in junior high, and then in high school, and then in college. None of that helps them in life. And I'm not saying don't send your children to school. I'm saying what they go to school for and what they need to know is two different things. We are assuming that what they're going to school for and what they need to know in life, they're getting that at the same time. That's not true. It's not true. They're learning more outside of the classroom when they go to school than they do inside of the classroom. What do I mean? Outside of the classroom, they learn to deal with adversity, bullies, social issues, things of that nature. They're learning more about that kind of stuff that will help them in life than they do inside the actual classroom. So I've got two sons in university right now. And you know why I send them to universities? Not to learn what's being taught in the universities, but to make connections, to learn how to network, to learn how to open up, to learn how to find your way. So I'm paying tens of thousands of dollars for them to get that education. I don't give a damn about the degree, because I'm going to put them in business when they're done, and I'm going to teach them how to make bread. But what they need to know in order to make bread with me is how to build relationships, how to step out of your comfort zone, how to deal with social issues when you're dealing with people from various backgrounds and all of that good stuff. That's why I sent them to college, not for a degree. And I'm not shitting on anybody who has a degree. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that our school system funnels you through a process that makes you a very good employee. Right? Our school system funnels our kids through a process that makes them a very good employee. I'm trying to make my children the best entrepreneur that they can be. I want them to understand that they can take their gifts, their talents, the special abilities that God gave them, the seeds that God put in them. I'm going to show them how to cultivate the soil that they're going to sow that seed into, and that seed is going to grow and bear fruit that will feed them forever. Is a job going to do that? Nope. Right? So I don't know even how we got on this tangent. But oh yeah, we were talking about Young Biz Kids. So youngbizkids.org, youngbizkidz.org. So send your children to school, and that's cool, so they can get those social things in place. Teach them how to deal with people from other cultures, other backgrounds. Teach them how to be polite. Teach them how to deal with somebody who's being mean to them, and all of that stuff. All of those are the life lessons that they need, right? But for your child to sit in the classroom year after year after year and learn about the damn colonies, how many times you got to go over that lesson? Yes, it was 13 colonies, right? Upper, middle, and lower colonies. It was, you know, the Quakers and the Pilgrims and the Puritans. And come on, man, every year with that. That's what's going on in our classroom, guys. You know, it's funny because I raised five sons of my own. I had 5 sons of my own, and then I raised a nephew and a cousin. right? Who lived here, went to school from here, and all of that. And I'm getting so much of this damn colonialism and stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going? But I'm watching in all five of them at one point. They're in all different grades, different ages, but at one period, they're all doing some sort of diorama or some sort of project about the colonies. I'm like, really? At the same time, so that tells me that the school system and the education system, there's an indoctrination going on. There's not a true passing of knowledge going on. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. And when you understand that, you can send them to school so they can get those other social things. You know, maybe they participate in sports, you know, let them learn how to build relationships and stuff. Let them understand how to maneuver within cliques, because schools are very cliquish. Let them, all of that stuff, you need that stuff, man. Trust me, you need that stuff. So that's what they're getting. And yes, make sure that they can pass their tests and all of that stuff and get decent grades, because, you know, you may not have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for them to go to college to continue that life education where they're still learning different cultures and how to deal with people, how to form groups and stuff like that. And maybe they become big on campus. Maybe they pledge. So maybe the good grades can help them get a scholarship so they can get that lesson for free. See, mine is I'm paying tens of thousands. I got 2 kids in college at the same time, right? So I'm paying tens of thousands for them to get that lesson. But I know that the degree that they're pursuing, and one of my sons is pursuing a degree in business finance. But guess what? They're not teaching them how to finance his own business. They're teaching them how to manage the finances for somebody else's business. That's where I come in. That's where I flip it and say, now you know how to manage finances. Let me first help you build your own business, and you use that finance degree to manage the finances in your own business. And then you create a business of managing people's finances. Now, instead of going to work for someone else, they can contract with you in your business to come in and do consulting work to manage their finances. But you don't work for them, you work for you. That's what we got to get. That's our problem. That's when you do that, when you have that mindset and your kids are coming out of college with that mindset, now they come out of college and they provide and they produce jobs for their peers. Now they come out of college and they can actually make the money that they need to pay back them damn student loans. Y'all know the statistics, man. I don't got to go into it. How many kids are graduating from school with those degrees and how many jobs are out there waiting for those children? It's extremely disproportionate. You're sending tens of thousands of kids across the stage with a degree fighting for 200 and 300 jobs a year. Shit's ridiculous, man. But anyway, let's recap this week, man. Y'all done got me fired up this morning. Talking about young biz kids. Right. Talking about young biz kids, y'all got me fired up. All right. So just to recap yesterday's show, we talked about thoughts, actions, and results. We talked about the fact that your thoughts lead to your words lead to your actions will develop your habits will develop your character, and your character will determine your destiny. And at any point you feel that your destiny is not right, you're not going to the right place, you have to go back to change your thought process. But the precursor to thought process is your belief system. See, some people are not willing to investigate their belief system. What do you believe about you? What do you believe about what you can do? What do you believe about what you can have? That's extremely important. What do you believe about you? What do you believe about what you can do? What do you believe about what you can have? I'll give you an example. What do I believe about me? I believe that I am a God. That's what I believe about me. What do I believe about what I can do? I believe I can do all things. What do I believe about what I can have? I believe everything that the sun touches belongs to me. All right, I'm gonna give it to you one more time. Give it to you one more time. Maybe that blesses somebody this morning. What do I believe about me? I believe I am a God under the Most High God. What do I believe about what I can do? I believe I can do all things. What do I believe about what I can have? I believe that everything the sun touches belongs to me. So I believe I can have whatever it is that I want. So what is your belief system? Because how you believe, what you believe determines your thought process. Your thought process determines the words that come out of your mouth. Every word that comes out of your mouth is a seed. And if those seeds are positive, then you're going to grow a positive garden, so to speak, and that positive garden will reap a harvest of positivity that flows into your life continually if you're continuing to speak and sow positive seeds. A couple weeks back, we talked about if your past catches up with you, will that be a good thing? Well, my past is catching up with me now, and that's an extremely good thing because I flipped the way that I speak and believe about myself, and that has caused me to sow a ton of positive seeds. And some of those seeds grow and mature in a year, some of them in 6 months, some of them in 2 years, some of them in 10 years. But I've been sowing these positive seeds over the last 20 years, and now I'm starting to reap the harvest of the positivity that I've sown over the years. Yes, I do have some negative storms that crop up in my life, but the positive storms are far better than the negative storms that come into my life. And let's talk about negativity for a second. When you get that negative seed that you sown 10 years ago, and that tree finally matures and starts to bear fruit and start raining down some negative things and negative experiences in your life, then I want you to just eat that. I just want you to take it. I don't want you to run from it. I want you to go ahead and go through that experience that you have to go through in order to get that thing behind you. See, a lot of times we run from those things that are cropping up. We run from those storms. No, batten down the hatches, close the shutters, and go through it. Experience it so you can get it behind you. If you're always running, then it's going to stay behind you, meaning those storms will continue to chase you. You have to go through it at some point. Just when it shows up in your life, batten down the hatches, close the shutters, and go through it and get it behind you. Learn from the experience and move the hell on. Right? So understand that belief system is precursor to your thoughts. Thoughts will lead to your words. Words will lead to your action. Actions become habits. Habits become character. Character dictates your destiny. And if you don't like where you're going, at any point in that process, you don't like the words that are coming back out of your mouth, then trace it back. Okay, the words are coming from the thoughts. I don't like the thoughts that I have. The thoughts that I have are coming from my belief system. So let me investigate my belief system. Right? All right, so that was yesterday. We talked about thoughts, action, and belief. On Wednesday, we talked about your financial success blueprint, and I gave you 8 things, right? I gave you a blueprint that I use. Now, you don't have to use it. You can take some pieces of it and build your own blueprint. But if you do not have a blueprint, say affiliations are good too. Yeah. We talked about, Shonda, the 3 things that help you with your belief system. Number 1 is the books you read. Number 2 is the places you go. And number 3 is the people you associate with. So you're absolutely right. And I'm glad to count you as friend, right? So financial success blueprint, I gave you 8 things. Number 1, it starts with cash flow management. You got to maximize your cash flow. Get your money working for you. Number 2, set up a beginner's emergency fund. All right, a beginner's emergency fund. That's $2,000 to $3,000 that you can get your hands on, because when you're in the process of building wealth, it takes momentum. And seeing what happens. Here's how life. What's up, Bless? Here's how life tests you to see if you're serious about what you're doing, right? You say, okay, I've been listening to this fool, H. Cortez, and he's talking about building wealth. So I'm going to trust him and I'm going to start building some wealth for myself. The minute you make your decision, here's what the universe is going to do. It's going to throw all sorts of obstacles in your way. And they're testing you to see if you're serious about building wealth. So the reason a mini emergency fund is important, $2,000 to $3,000, is so when those obstacles get thrown in your way, right? Washer goes out, transmission breaks down in the car. I've got a mini emergency fund that's going to make those things not an emergency, but just a slight inconvenience. What's the difference? An emergency happens when you don't have the money to pay for it, right? And it was a point in my life where something could cost me $100 and it'd be a for real emergency, right? Because I didn't have the money. But if you got the money, then it's just a slight inconvenience, right? My man Cedric Williams out of Memphis was on his way to an event in Atlanta. He drives a nice Corvette, late model. That joker is nice, right? Gets a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. Couldn't find a tire shop nowhere to fix the tire. So he had to have a tow truck come and tow his Corvette. I don't know how many miles, but it cost him about $500, right? And then after the tow, he had to find a tire shop and spend another $200 or $300 on the tire because he's got some custom rims on his vet. So for me, that would have been a major emergency, and I'm turning around, man. Damn the event, I'm going home, right? But for him, because he had the money to pay for it, slight inconvenience. And he beat me to the event, right? He had to go through all of that and he beat me to the event because it was a slight inconvenience when you have your money right. So you got to have a mini emergency fund, $2,000 to $3,000. And when you start building that, we even talk about where to put that. Because what you want to do is you don't want it in a regular bank account, because a regular bank account ain't going to pay you any interest on that money. You're loaning the bank your money and they're not paying you any interest. So we talk about putting it in a municipal bond fund or something like that. Now, let me give you my disclaimer. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm not advising you what to do with your money. But we talk about putting it in a municipal bond fund because you'll get a better rate of return. And guess what? If you never have an emergency, your money is still growing for you. Versus you put it in a savings account, put it under the mattress, and you never have an emergency, that money ain't growing. It ain't doing nothing. It's all right. So many emergency funds, number two. Number three, you start the habit of investing. Just the habit. We're not concerned with the dollar amount right now. If it's $20 a pay period, fine. Just get the habit of every time I get my hands on some cash, I buy, build, or invest in some sort of asset that's going to bring me more cash. And don't forget, the biggest investment you can ever make is in yourself, right? So every time I get my hands on some cash, I'm buying a book. I'm buying a ticket to some sort of seminar. I'm taking my time to go and learn more and more, right? So don't forget about that. Yes, and invest in some sort of mutual fund, invest in some sort of retirement plan, invest in your 401k, but invest in this thing right here too, right? So start the habit of investing. Number four, eliminate all consumer debts. Credit card debts are killing you, right? If you haven't seen my girl Angela McCoy's Bloody Mess presentation, go check that thing out at I am AK McCoy. It's her fan page. She does a presentation called The Bloody Mess, and she just shows you how a $5,000 credit card bill can cost you $35,000 when you're paying $100 a month, because $87 is going to the interest and only $12 is going to the principal, right? Nothing wrong with interest, people. We're just on the wrong side of it, right? Nothing wrong with interest. We're just on the wrong side of it, all right? So, start the habit of investing. Number four is eliminate debt. Number five, and once you eliminate your debt, then you go to number five, you actually increase the investing. That's when you now start to focus on the amount that you're investing, right? How much are you investing, right? So now if you have no debt, you can afford to invest $400-500 per month. And that's what you do. Number six is you build a full emergency fund. What is the full emergency fund? The full emergency fund is 6 to 12 months of your total living expenses. And I would even pad that a little bit. So if it takes you $3,000 a month to live comfortably, then maybe you put $4,000 a month times 6. So $24,000 a month in a full emergency fund. Because again, building wealth takes momentum. And what happens is, I told you, the minute you start building wealth, life is going to throw some things at you to see if you're serious about that. And if you got that emergency fund in place, then you can just take care of those inconveniences and keep your momentum going, and you build wealth. Then number seven is, if you're not already buying a home, then think about buying. I would say think about not a home, think about buying a residence. Right? Because we talked about yesterday is, yes, I can leverage credit to buy a single family dwelling, but we're talking about building wealth here. Why not leverage that same credit to buy a multi-unit apartment complex? Maybe it's just a duplex, right? You live in one side and you have a tenant paying the mortgage back living on the other side. Maybe it's a 4-family unit. You live in one of the units and rent out the other 3 units, right? Don't let them know that you're the owner, but you know, you guys just live there in harmony, but they are paying for the mortgage. Don't use your credit to buy a single family dwelling. That just don't make sense if you're trying to build wealth. Ask me how I know, because I'm paying $1,000 a month in a single family dwelling. I could be having that same $1,000 a month going towards the purchasing of an asset that will bring me a passive income over time, right? So just think about that. And if you're already in a home, then use all of that extra income to start paying your mortgage off, right? Pay your mortgage off. And let's address something. I know sometimes when you're talking about paying off a mortgage, people, I forgot I got something on the stove. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So when you talk about paying your mortgage off, people will tend to say, man, if I pay my mortgage off, I lose that credit that I get from being able to claim my mortgage interest, right? Because some people, when you pay mortgage, because most of that money is going towards interest and not principal, they're able to write off $15,000, $20,000, sometimes $30,000 in mortgage interest. And they don't want to lose that as a write-off. But you're telling me that you're going to keep a $2,000 a month bill just to get a $10,000 write-off? Well, how about this? This is just simple math, man. That's why I like money, because money comes down to the numbers. $2,000 a month to get a $10,000 write-off, right? $2,000 times 12 is $24,000. It's $24,000, right? So pay your mortgage off, take $10,000 of that $24,000, donate that to charity. You still get the same write-off, and you still got $14,000 to go into your investments. Hell with keeping a bill just for the write-off. That's silly, people. But you hear financial people talking about that, and you want to go that route. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mortgage, man, because I'm gonna lose that tax deduction. A tax deduction is the same whether it's a mortgage interest deduction or if it's a donation to charity. So get rid of the bill and just donate more to charity, and you still get the write-off, right? All right. And then last, you want to maximize your investments. That's number 8. Maximize your investments. So that means now that you have no debt, including the mortgage payment is gone, you got $3,000 or $4,000 each and every month. Then you want to do something with that money. I don't care if it's paper assets. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if it's collectibles. I don't care if it's precious metals. I don't care if it's business systems. Maybe you invest in a franchise of some sort. Don't matter. Maximize your investments. Get your money growing. Get it out there and put it to work for you. Money don't take off. Money don't call in sick. Money don't talk back. All money knows how to do is make more money. Problem with our money right now is making more money for someone else because we're not learning how to put it to work for us, right? So hopefully that makes sense. We did that on Wednesday. That was Wednesday. Tuesday, we talked about the difference between extraordinary and ordinary, and the difference is just a little extra. Are you willing to go the extra mile, guys? In your life, are you willing to go the extra mile? You got to be willing to go the extra mile. I watch everybody around me move, and I'm going, and I'm going, I'm going, and they're going, I'm going, and they're going, and I'm waiting till they stop going, and then I'm gonna go a little bit further. That's just how I live my life, right? We've got to strive for excellence. Some of us are busy chasing the dollar. Don't chase a dollar, chase excellence, because guess where the dollars go? The dollars chase excellence. The dollars will find excellence. So you have a problem with someone not wanting to pay you what you're worth? Start chasing excellence. And I promise you, you can set your price. When you do everything with excellence, I promise you, you can set your price, because I don't have a problem getting the price that I ask for anything that I do. And then your belief in what you do also helps you too, because when I set my price and you don't want to give me my price, I walk away because I know the value of what I have. I set my price, and because I know that I'm pursuing excellence, then my price is well worth it. I'm going to over deliver. So when I set my price, people meet me at my price and they don't have a problem with it. And for those who do have a problem with it, I walk away. I walk away because excellence deserves the value that I'm bringing. I deserve the price because of the excellence, right? And then on Monday, we talked about pride, right? What if you look at your life and you take a real inventory and you determine that you're going the wrong way? Will you allow your pride to get in the way to keep you from making that course correction? Maybe you need to veer a little left. Maybe you need to veer a little right. Some of you need to take a complete U-turn altogether. Not only are you going the wrong way, you're actually going in the wrong direction. Right? But sometimes our pride, because we went to school and we got that degree, what we're saying is, I'm going to make this damn thing work. And when it's not working, we say, here's how silly we get. We went to school, we got the degree, we're on the job, and we're working. Because of the degree, we got the job. The job that we got because of the degree is not paying us enough. So instead of saying that shit ain't working, I say I'm going to go get another degree so I can make a little bit more money. And maybe that's going to fix the situation. Wait a minute. The first degree didn't deliver on what you thought it was going to deliver. So you're going to go and get another degree? That's pride saying, not admitting, allowing yourself to admit that this whole thing was wrong from the very beginning. I went to school to get a degree so I can get a job to pay for school. See, that whole thing is messed up from the beginning. And sometimes it's been beaten into our heads so tough that we're not able to admit that. We're not able to admit that. Now, if you're in school, I'm not telling anybody to drop out of school. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying go to school to gain knowledge, not an education. See, an education is indoctrination. In America, your education is an indoctrination. But guess what? If you're paying $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 per semester, you are on a college campus that probably has one of the baddest libraries on the planet. Go to class because you have to. That's what you're paying for. But then take your ass to that library and use all of those resources to get some real knowledge. Yes. Go get your indoctrination because that's how you're going to get the degree, the certificate that you completed your courses. But then get your ass in that library and get some real knowledge. Hopefully that ain't stepping on no toes too bad. But you're on a college campus that has a resource center that's probably, I don't know, tens of thousands of square feet, books from all over the world, internet, other people as resources that you can learn about. Come on, man. Come on. So that's what I'm teaching my kids. Yes, you're in college, but I'm paying for you to have access to the people and the resources on that campus, not necessarily the professors, because a lot of times the professors are teaching you stuff on theories, things that they have never done. My son is a business finance major. Ain't none of them professors that's teaching him ever run their own business and manage finances for a business they run. They've all worked for corporations. So what are they teaching my son? How to go to a corporation, get a job, and manage a corporation's finances. Just something to think about. So if you're going the wrong way and you recognize you're going the wrong way, it's kind of like us fellas when we're driving. Sometimes we recognize we're going the wrong way, but our pride won't let us turn on the GPS. Our pride won't let us listen to our wives. Our pride won't let us pull out the maps. See, I'm a little old enough to remember where you pulled out a map and the actual unfolded this thing and it took up the whole damn dashboard, right? So now I can't see. But you looked at a map and you got yourself on track. Guys, I just gave you a blueprint. I just gave you a map, right? If you're going the wrong way, then refer to that map and see if you need to make some course corrections. And it's okay to make some course corrections. It's okay to admit that you were wrong. right? What's not okay is to realize that you're wrong, but you're going to keep going down the road. I'm in a herd of people, and I'm watching as I get closer and closer to retirement age at 42. I'm watching the people ahead of me keep on going down this road, and all of them are falling off the cliff. I'm watching this. So what I'm saying is I'm watching the generation ahead of me retire from a job, then go get another job. To me, that's the equivalent of running down a dead end road and running off the cliff. I'm watching this go on in front of me. Am I going to continue to move with this herd and just hope by the time I get to the end of the road, somebody has built more road? Or do I say, you know what? This road leads to a cliff. I'm not trying to run off a cliff. I'm going to turn my ass around and fight through this crowd. Because guess what? There's a crowd of people behind me still going down that same way. I'm going to turn my ass around and I'm going to go and march through this fight against this crowd, go against the grain, swim upstream, and do something different. That's what I'm talking about. So that's when I'm talking about colleges that way, I'm just saying that you have to do something different. What everybody is doing traditionally with college, it ain't working, y'all. And y'all know it ain't working. Y'all know it ain't working. Tens of thousands of people graduating from college in their respective fields and fighting for 200 or 300 jobs every year. Tens of thousands of people are graduating college in their respective fields every year, fighting for 200 and 300 jobs. So that's how you create what's called an employer's market. That means an employer can set the salary because more of you need jobs than they have jobs available. So you got this degree in business finance, but you'll take a job pushing paper because you need to start paying Sally Mae back. And you're hoping, well, I just need to get my foot in the door. And once I get my foot in the door, I'm going to show them that I got this finance knowledge because I got this finance degree. And then I'm going to end up in the finance department. Well, guess what? Somebody already working in the finance department, dude. Right. All right, we're going to get off that. Questions and answers. Guys, if you got questions, and you have a business, give me your business name and ask your question. I'm going to give you a business shout out this morning, and then we'll get to your questions. And I don't care questions on anything, community development, economic empowerment, wealth building, business, branding, marketing, whatever. You guys are tuned into the show. Y'all know kind of what I teach and all that kind of stuff, the types of shows that we do here. So questions on anything, just say your brand so I can give you a business shout out and then ask your question. Let's go for 20 minutes, man. I know I started the show late because I wanted to make sure I had a strong connection this morning because we literally got booted off like 4 times yesterday. So let's go 20 minutes Q&A. If you don't have Q&A, then I'll just start rambling about something that maybe you don't even want to know nothing about. So ask your question so I can at least help you specifically with something that you got. Wow, powerful stuff. What can help them move? Elaborate, Gary, if you're still on. What can help them move? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Small thinkers get minimum wage. William says small thinkers get minimum wages. Yep, going through right now. OMG, have nothing. All right, Tisha, let's work, man. Let's work. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to grind. Affirmations are good too. She said affirmations. I thought it said affiliations. All right. Questions. Anybody? Come on, y'all. Let's get this dialogue started, man. If you're on YouTube, unfortunately, YouTube chat doesn't work well, so you actually have to go over to Facebook to ask a question. And then Diane said, are not working in their field. Yeah, you guys got to take what you can get because you got out of college, right? And here's how silly we are. Not silly and just just lacking knowledge, silly, because our parents aren't teaching us because they didn't learn financial wisdom. So we get out of college, don't even have a job, but we're already in debt because of the college and because of the credit cards that they were pushing down our throats as freshmen. As soon as we walked on campus, you're getting credit cards in your name and you don't even have a job. They're asking you questions like, do your parents send you money every now and then? If you say yes, then they'll give you a credit card. What kind of issue is that? Right? So you already got credit card debt, you got student loan debt, and then soon as you start working, you go and buy that nice car you always wanted as a reward for finishing college. So now you got student loan debt, you got credit card debt, and you got a finance card loan debt, right? Says leaving legacy, says Cortez, how do I build my team? Shonda, what you want to do is you want to stay plugging in, and then you want to get this information out, right? Share my videos and things of that nature with people and just really get this information out. Turn the camera on, put it in front of your face, talk about what you know as it relates to finance, what you're learning, share your own personal testimony. You use one of our strategies and it increased your cash flow by X amount of dollars. People need to know that. How it's working for you. You were able to bring someone onto the team, so you're able to, if you can do it once, you can do it twice. You can do it twice, you can do it 10 times, you can do it 10 times, you can do it 100 times. So keep doing what you're doing, just do more of it. Do more of it. How can I get young biz kids down in my area? It will start virtually first, right? Because we're only about 8 months old. So it'll start virtually first. So you get them plugged into our virtual platform. And then what we're going to do, we're actually in talks with attorneys right now to start getting our curriculums and everything copywritten so that we can then create chapters in different areas of the country. Right. So eventually we'll have a Young Biz Kids chapter in your area. And if you are a business coach, mentor, if you are connected to some, then you can literally potentially be a chapter head for a chapter in your area and start bringing this information to our babies, man. We've got some killer kids, man. We got J. Cool Wallace, man, so cool, using his creativity where he takes Capri Sun packages, right? Discarded Capri Sun packages, because you guys know they're shiny, they're colorful, and he makes little wallets and little trinkets out of those things. And then what we do is we have craft shows for them where we put them in craft shows, and then they're able to sell their products, right? They have to get out from behind their booths, in front of their booths, and they have to talk to everybody that passes by. Tell me that ain't building their confidence. The people who are actually making the purchases for the most part are adults. We know that we have a disconnect with our children being confident enough to talk to an adult and look an adult in the eye and say, you know what, ma'am, sir, here's what my product is all about. Here's what I'm about. Here's how you're benefiting me if you were to shop with me. See, that's what we're teaching. And when our kids can look an adult in the eye with confidence and they can speak about what they're doing, I want you guys to go over to Mikey's Munchies page. He's probably one of our young superstars and young biz kids. He has a vending machine business, right? I think he's got about 4 or 6 vending machines. And then, of course, since he stocks his vending machines, any leftover stuff that he doesn't stock, he has a little store at his house. Kids come to his house and they buy the munchies from him directly. But you will see that he's starting to do more and more interviews and things of that nature where we're grooming him to understand how to communicate his message and his brand to others via video, via written text and things of that nature. So we give this to the babies, man, and they're soaking and sucking it up, man. They are sucking it up, man. Because they want this. They want more for themselves, right? I enjoy the information, Cortez. I immediately went into debtor's prison by going to college, and it took me 20 years to learn that I was supposed to take the degree and move into the business sector. Exactly, Candace. Nobody is teaching this stuff, man. Nobody's teaching this stuff. So I appreciate the experience, because it's only a mistake if you never learn from it. Exactly. It was an experience. Right? It was an experience. So that's what this thing is all about. Fruits of the Spirit, Bath and Body. Do you know of a good local labeling company? I do not. And Chandra is here in St. Louis, and she does bath soaps and scrubs and things of that nature. So if you're in St. Louis, give her a Facebook request. She can even ship that stuff to you. I don't know of a good local labeling company. If you already have work designed, I would say Vistaprint. So for instance, if you know what size labels you need and you already have good graphic work, you have your logos already done, you have your facts that need to go on the label and all that kind of stuff, and all you have to do is just go and plug that stuff into a design, Vistaprint will be good for that, right? And if there's anybody else on here who's good at prints and labels and designs and things of that nature, get with Shan and help her out with her labeling. And then all you do is go to Vistaprint, and you can get like 1,000 labels printed for like $15 or something. So if your labels are universal, and that's what I would tell you, is I will make all of my packaging with a label spot for a label that's universally the same size. So even though your packaging might be different for different sizes, just make the packaging so the label goes across all, the same label can go across all packages. So you kind of make a generic label with your logo, name of the brand, and then maybe your website, and then all you're doing is changing out the name of the product, the specific product. And then you can go to Vistaprint, and they're probably the best to do that. Shonda says, send her a friend request, Shan, and she can give you a good reference. Good deal, good deal. Good morning, D. What's good? Good morning. Good morning, Zeke. Cool. Any more questions? I like the questions, man, because like I said, I get on here and I have a predetermined message for you every morning. But Fridays, I want you to give me or ask questions so I can give you some specifics, so I can speak directly to you and what you have going on. Plug in on this live stream. This King's on point. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. I really do, man. I appreciate you guys sharing the stream. I appreciate you guys, getting the word out about the morning show. And give you a little secret, man. I've got an afternoon show that's coming. I'm working on an afternoon show right now that I'm retired, man. I literally I've got tons and tons of ideas. And I'm gonna say this, guys. I have a good friend over at Jack of All Fades Barbershop, right? And if you listen to that song, that's my intro, he's actually on that song with me, because we were in a rap group called The Fam some years ago. Actually, we're about to celebrate our 20-year anniversary of dropping some gems on the people here locally. But they are, he says all the time is that we're so messed up in the head that we step over dollars to pick up pennies. Some of y'all gonna get that tomorrow. Right? We're so messed up in the head that we step over dollars to pick up pennies. And for me, going to my job every day was literally me stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, because every day I left and walked out of my house to go to a job, I was leaving dollars behind to go gather pennies, because I can create and I can produce, and I got all of these ideas and on how to produce my own shows and do all of this stuff. But I was literally leaving dollars behind to go gather some pennies. Right? See, some of you guys gonna let $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year keep you from millions. I'm gonna say it again. Some of y'all gonna let $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year keep you from your millions. Now, don't go into your job today and say, H. Cortez said, I'm stepping over dollars to pick up these pennies y'all giving me, I quit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're building something, then build something in parallel with your job. So number one, if something happens to your job, you're okay. And two, you want your side business to ultimately overtake your job so that you can walk away on your own terms. See, I was able to walk away on my own terms. Some of you guys aren't doing anything, and then when your job separates from you, then you're going to be cussing them out and talking bad about the job. No, put yourself in position so that if that happens, it happens and you're good. Or put yourself in position that you can walk away when you feel like it. You know how just like jobs fire people without notice, I fired my job without notice. I went on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, sent an email to my boss and his boss, and I was out of there about 8:30. I fired them. No notice, no 2 weeks. They wouldn't give me 2 weeks. If they want to be gone, they had me gone. So I fired them. And then why do you give 2 weeks? Because you want them to give you a good reference later down the road for the next company. It ain't gonna be no next company. I'm not going back to work. So down with that protocol. This job was getting in my way, so I had to let it go, period. But I'm not saying that you go quit your job. I'm saying that in order to put myself in position to quit my job, I work my side business like a full-time job. Did that for 20 straight months. I work my side business like a full-time job for 20 straight months. And that put me in position to fire my job. Make sense? Questions. Nobody's got questions? Come on, man. Who else wants to know something? Anything, man. Branding, marketing, business, wealth building tips, strategies, anything that we covered from the recap from shows earlier this week. Maybe you had a question earlier this week and then you didn't think to ask it, but now is your time. And I want to give you specifics. See, all week long, I give you a predetermined message that I have set, right? Whatever the spirit leads, I kind of just go with that for the day. But some of you guys are on here and you're saying, I'm hoping he touches on this. I'm hoping he touches on this. Well, ask your question and I'll touch on it right now, specifically. And we got eight more minutes. 8 more minutes. Because I can ramble on about just about anything, but again, I want to be specific on Fridays. I reserve this for Fridays because I want to give you a whole show of just me giving you exactly what you want, right? And not me giving you what I want you to have. And I appreciate that you guys resonate with what I want you to have, but I also want to help you build. So if I can give you a tip today that will cause your business to grow to another level, then let's talk about the tips and the things that you need to get your business to grow to another level. If I can give you a tip today that will help your finances grow to another level, let me give you a specific tip for you in your situation that will help your finances grow to another level. Does that make sense? That's what I'm trying to do for you guys. That's why I never have any guests on Friday. This Friday format is going to stay the same for the duration of the show. I just want to make sure that I give specifics to you and not just always be giving you what I want you to have. But I don't know what you want if you don't ask questions. You don't have statements. You don't have comments. 7 more minutes, guys. Say, hi, I'm curious to know your thoughts on the use of trusts, revocable and irrevocable, to build wealth and pass it on to the next generation. I think that is definitely an instrument. Right. And I think everyone should have them. I don't have one set up for my children just yet, but I have some other insurance instruments and stuff in place. But as I continue to build on this empire, that is definitely the thing to do. Because what happens is with those trusts, see what happens is when it comes to leaving the legacy for your children, Uncle Sam likes to get his hand in there. Right. But when you have those trusts set up in place, now you transfer that wealth specifically and directly without Uncle Sam having to come in. It doesn't have to go through probate and all of that kind of stuff, because what you have set up in place is so direct, and it tells specifically what you want where you want your assets to go and how you want them to be allocated. And then some of those trusts, if you get your kids involved, then there's certain ways that you can set up your corporations and all that kind of stuff, where sometimes you don't even need a trust. It automatically transfers if you're talking about a business as something being passed down. But if you also own other assets, then sometimes you do need the trust and things of that nature. But there's certain ways that you can structure everything that you do, so that it creates a circle of protection around everything that you do. So one business feeds another, the other feeds the other feeds the other, and all of those businesses are held by a holding corporation. And on the board of that holding corporation is you, your wife, and your children. So when something happens to you, the board of that holding corporation is already family. So it automatically passes on, and it keeps moving forward without the intersection or the intercession of the government, because the government can't interfere in your corporation. It's a private corporation. You own that. So if something happens to one of the board members, the rest of the board members just keep moving forward. And guess who's on the board? Nobody but my family. Good question, Brian. I appreciate that, man. Good question. definitely you want to definitely be using trust and other instruments like that. Can we do a presentation together tomorrow? I'm ready. Yes, I have a 3 o'clock already. You know what? We have to figure out a time, because I've got my son has 2 basketball games, 7 and 7:45, that I'm coaching in. I have a 3 o'clock tomorrow, Candace. So let's work on a time. Let's work out a time, and we'll get together. But yes, definitely, we can do a brunch, a mid-morning brunch or something. Yeah, we definitely can. However we need to do it, just let me know. How can I purchase your T-shirt you're wearing? This is my Young Biz Kids T-shirt. Go to youngbizkids.org and ask them. We usually don't just sell them, but we'll sell you one. We'll take a donation and get you a T-shirt. We'll definitely do that for you. So go in the comments and say, hey, I saw H. Cortez with a Young Biz Kids T-shirt on. I want one. I'll make a donation of whatever amount, and we'll get you a T-shirt out. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Diane. Can you talk about the benefits of purchasing an apartment building again? Yeah, Lakeisha. So this is for people, especially if you have not bought your first home. If you have not bought your first home, I want you to think about this. You can use credit to go and buy a single family dwelling, and you and your family can live nice, $250,000, $300,000 house. Cool. You can use credit to do that. But you can also use that same credit to go buy a 10-unit apartment complex. Right? And I know you're saying, I don't want to live in an apartment. Well, guess what? Take 2 of the units, combine them, have your contractor come through and combine them, customize 2 of the units together. Now you have you a nice super suite, but then you have 8 other people paying for that mortgage on that property. And it's going to get you some passive income. And eventually you're going to have an asset when it's all said and done. It's going to continue to pay you. So what you do with the passive income that the tenants are paying you, you save that up, and then you go buy you a plot of land and you have your dream home built from scratch, and then have the renters pay for that. You just got to think differently about building wealth. If the name of the game is real wealth, then it doesn't make sense to buy a single family dwelling ever. Right? If you're going to leverage credit, leverage it to buy an asset that's going to build you some real wealth. See, a single family dwelling, even when you buy that dream home, it's going to take money from you. Even if you own that dream home free and clear. Even if you own it free and clear, it's still going to cost you money to maintain the yard. You're going to pay for your utilities, and you're going to pay for upkeep and maintenance on that. So it's still going to cost you a little bit. But if you don't have that other property, so eventually that 10-unit apartment complex is eventually going to be paid in free and clear. Now I just got the revenue from all of those rents coming in, and now I take that money and build me a house. And now I have a house that I live in free and clear. I have a 10-unit apartment complex free and clear. Now that's wealth that can be passed down to the next generation via real assets, right? Real assets. And then what's cool about that is now that you have those real assets coming in, if you send your kids to college, you pay for college. So they graduate college, they always have a place to stay because you own a 10-unit apartment complex. And they get out of college with no debt because you paid cash for college. So you're setting up the next generation to not only have an asset that they're going to own when you pass when you pass on, but you're also teaching them how to build wealth for themselves. So that's why the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for the children's children. He doesn't leave it to the children. Why? Because the children are right here under my wing. They're building wealth with me. They should have their own empires already because they're walking with me. So I leave my inheritance to their children. So hopefully that makes sense. Some of y'all gonna catch that tomorrow. In a better position than I was 2 years ago, but I need another income for myself. Do you have any tips or leads to help me find ways to make money from home? Yes, my financial success membership is free to join. It's $35 a month. We teach people how to minimize taxes, eliminate debt, free up the money that they need to invest. So this is for Gerwin. Go to myfamilyempire.com, Gerwin. myfamilyempire.com. What that's going to do is give you an overview of our income shifting program. We're literally going to help you take the money that you have right now. Most people using our very first strategy can free up $300 to $500 per month using that strategy alone. You take that $300 to $500 per month and you pay off all of your debts. Credit cards first, because they're revolving debts. And that means the debt compounds with interest every month. So $300 to $500 can pay that stuff off. $300 to $500 can throw towards the card note, pay that card note off faster. Now, before you know it, you got $1,500, $2,000 of free capital every month. What do you do with that? We teach you how to invest wholesale, so you get double-digit rates of return on that money. So now your retirement is growing a lot faster. Then you refer others, because it's free for you to join this month. And if you want to bring 10 friends or family member on, I'll waive the fee for them too. It's free for them. So you can start building a team of people who are getting their money right. What happens if I help you and 9 of your buddies free up $1,000 a month? That's $10,000 a month in your circle. What can you guys do with $10,000 a month collectively if you put your brain power together? You can do a lot with it, right? That's $120,000 a year. That is a down payment on a 40-unit apartment complex, if you guys are putting your money together like that, right? So you need my financial success membership. You can inbox me directly. You can call me at 314-874-6887. Or you can just go to myfamilyempire.com if you just want to kind of see the video on your own, and then reach out to me afterwards. And then just let me know. I'll get you plugged in. It's $0 to start, and then just $35 a month. But you will need a coupon code in order to make that happen. So message me, and I'll get you that coupon code to waive the fee. All right, all right, all right. Check your inbox. All right. Tasha, how do you help someone find their passion? All right. It's simple. You don't have to find passion, Tasha. You have passion, right? What are the things that you like to do that you're going to do regardless of if you're making an income or not? What is it that you love to do and you're going to find yourself doing them 5 years, 10 years down the road, whether you're making an income for them things or not, that thing or not? Basketball is one of my passions. I just love the game. But what I found is that more than I love the game, I love more to coach and mentor kids. So through my love for this game, it helped lead me to my purpose. So my passion led me to my purpose. My purpose is to coach and mentor. So your passion, the things that you love to do already. Give me a second. Let me let my dog out real quick. Come on, baby. Here. Forgot my kids didn't have school this morning, so nobody let them out this morning. So he probably back there holding his little urine in all morning. So your passion. So you just think about the things that you love to do. See, sometimes we discount our passions because we don't know how to make an income from them. So we just have things that we just love to do, and we don't know why, right? Because those passions were given to us by our Creator, because our passions lead to our purpose. But we walk away from our passions because we can't make an income from them, right? And here's another thing that you do. If you're struggling to figure out your passions, then ask the 5 or 10 people closest to you, what do you see when you see me? How do you see me? And they will help clue you into what your passion is too, because sometimes when you're doing something for other people, you don't feel that you're passionate about it, but people who are standing afar looking at you do something, they're like, man, you do that so well. I can tell you have a passion for that. I can tell you love that because you're so into it. But sometimes we don't feel that when we're going through the motions. So you ask the 5 closest people to you, how do you see me? What do you think that I'm good at? What do you think I'm best at? And that will give you some clues, and you'll think about, I just do this stuff naturally. I never thought about that I was good at it. Well, duh, that's your passion. That's why it comes so natural to you, because it's a gift that has been given to you, right? So hopefully that answers the question for you, Tasha. Congratulations on your new teammate too. Any more questions? Questions? Let's do 4 more minutes. 5 more minutes. It's 8:25. We'll finish at 8:30 since I started late. Rob, I haven't forgotten about you, bro. Maybe next week would be good to get you and your guy on to talk about the alternative currency, right? Rob, if you guys are into, thinking about cryptocurrencies and things of that nature, things that are trying to position themselves to rival the dollar, Rob Smith is a good person to go to for that. They have a program that can get you into alternative currencies. So we're actually going to get him and his mentor on the show maybe one day next week, because again, guys, it's all about building wealth for me. And maybe you want to build wealth with my financial success membership. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to build wealth with cryptocurrencies. Maybe you want to build wealth with precious metals and gold and silver and coins and things of that nature. Maybe you want to build wealth through some sort of business. You'll find that with me, it's all about collaboration, not competition. I'm not competing with nobody but the H. Cortez from yesterday. Right? I want y'all to understand this. I'm not competing with anybody but the H. Cortez from yesterday. So if you have a way that can help people build wealth and you want to be a guest on the show, let's talk about it. This platform is to help the people who follow this show build wealth. Not everybody want to use the tax code like I do to build wealth. Some people want to do more traditional things to build wealth. If you have a way to do that, then let's talk about it. Shanitha, okay, I'll grab it from you because I'll take it. So we just need to hook up, and I can PayPal you the money or however you want to do it. But definitely, if you still want to exchange it, let me know and I will hook up so I can pick it up from you. Any more questions? Questions? 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes, and then I've got a bunch of stuff that I've got to get to do. Be on the lookout for a video for me later. I'm gonna try to live stream it. My son is singing the national anthem at their school's volleyball game this evening. Solo dolo, he does it with his a cappella group and stuff sometimes, but today it's him and him alone. So I'm excited to see that. See him do his thing, man. I've never seen him do the national anthem. I've heard him sing it around the house, but I've never seen him perform it live. So it's going to be cool. And I know I talked to him yesterday. We went out a little bit and he was talking about he was a little nervous because his choir director just sprung it on him like the day before yesterday. Like, hey, you're doing the national anthem on Friday for the volleyball game. So, but he's a cool, good kid. So I'm excited about that. So I'm trying to stream that live. If I don't, I'm still going to record it and upload it. So check that out. Give him a little love if you guys see that video come out. Don't come too hard on him with the critiques. But I mean, I know he's nervous. And I originally thought it was a football game, and I was like, dude, it's gonna be cold tomorrow. So how you gonna sing when it's cold? Your teeth gonna be chattering and you trying to sing. But he's like, no, it's a volleyball game, so it's indoors. Any more questions? Come on, 1 more minute. If not, then you know what? Do share. Have an awesome day. Appreciate that, Diane. I certainly will. Guys, heart it up for me and we'll get out of here. I am your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my very best to bring practical, proven wealth building strategies. Today's show was brought to you by, just want to say thanks for all you are doing. Appreciate that, Chandra. Just wanted to say today's episode was brought to you by Young Biz Kids. If you want a young entrepreneurs program for your kids, if you want your kids to see young entrepreneurs in action, go to the Young Biz Kids fan page. All right, because I got all kind of videos where I interview those kids, and it's just cool to see. And I'm watching them evolve and get more and more confident, man. We need this kind of stuff in our babies, man. We need them to know that they can do all things. And it's one thing to tell them that they can do all things, but it's another thing to help them and show them that they can do all things. Because we know that we talk about on this show, the cycle of belief. Belief leads to action. They're taking action. They're getting results. We're helping them analyze that results, and those results will feed their belief, and they're getting more and more confident by the day. So youngbizkids.org, and also check out the Young Biz Kids fan page. Give us a like over there, and stay tuned if you got kids interested in a Young Entrepreneurs program, because we can get them plugged in even if they're outside of our local area here, because a lot of our classes are going to be virtual, so they can plug in. And the fees are really, really low, guys, because most of us are just doing this because we love entrepreneurship. So we're just trying to bring something back and change the culture of our community. And you change that by creating young producers, young entrepreneurs, young wholesalers, young manufacturers, and things of that nature. So until I talk to you on Monday, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. Peace out, people.